Before we hop into the video you're about to watch, today is Friday, so in the future. The video you're about to watch was filmed on Monday while I was actually editing the film. A couple things just wanted to touch on before heading into it. If you haven't seen the film, I'll have it playing here, probably right here somewhere, and I'll leave a link so that you could actually watch the video you're about to see edited live, or not live, whatever, recorded. So you can watch that first, and then come back here. That's great. A couple people were asking me when I posted that teaser, and so they were just asking me some questions, so I just want to answer those. First off, this isn't, just to set the tone, this isn't really a tutorial. I just simply wanted to post up a video so that you could see me walk through the entire process of creating a teaser film. So don't go in expecting me, how to teach you how to grade or edit or use Premiere or any of that. Like, all you're going to see here is just me putting things together. But if you have a specific question on how to do something, feel free to leave that in the comments below, and I'd be more than happy to do that in a future video. But for now, you're just going to get, it's like drinking from a fire hose. You're just going to get it all. Very sped up, but you're still going to get it all. And yeah, so that's one. This isn't a tutorial. Two, you'll be getting little tips here, little things that I do here and there as far as like music goes, or Instagram, and I don't know, all these little tips. You will get that, so that's cool. Shoot settings. People were asking me what I shoot on. I shoot on a GH4 and a GH5. Both cameras are in natural profile with everything set to -5. And yeah, I don't know, I just really like that camera profile. I know some people shoot in Cine D, Cine V, some people shoot in Vlog. I don't know, it's just personal preference. I like natural. That's what I shot on the GH4 for a couple years, so I just brought that over to the GH5. And as far as lenses go, in the teaser there were only 2 lenses used, but on the actual wedding day there were multiple other lenses that were used. But for this specific teaser, you had the Canon FD 1.4, typically with a like a variable ND filter attached to it, and also a speed booster attached to it at some points, or even just a dummy adapter. So Canon FD 1.4, that's a vintage lens, really cool. You can find it like $40 on eBay. It's awesome. Definitely recommend it. It's really soft, wide open, so you have to work with that. But at like f2, awesome. Love it. And the other lens we used was the Canon L 85 1.2. I think the Mark II, if that's a thing. I'm pretty sure that's what's on the lens. That is a very expensive lens. I'm borrowing it. Really thankful. But yeah, those 2 lenses are the ones that you'll see shot on right here. And the way I adapt the Canon L lens to my GH5 is with a Metabones speed booster, the XL version. That's a 0.64 crop, so it widens the image a little bit more. I think it turns it into like a 110 millimeter equivalent. So, and it speeds up the aperture, so it's just crazy fast. And of course I have to use a variable ND filter on that to keep my shutter speed down and keep everything exposed properly. So there's that. I'll leave all links. If you guys don't know, all links are down below my full gear list. It'll take you to kit.com, and you can check out everything that I use in my gear. So audio equipment and everything. I'll probably go into that more in a couple more videos. So, and lastly, as far as grading goes, I actually have my own grade that I created, my own LUT, if you want to, yeah, my own look. But it was adapted from James Miller's D-LUTs set 4, I believe. And mine is adapted from the Bexley LUT. So what I did, I just pulled it into DaVinci Resolve, and I just grabbed a couple different kinds of shots, like an outdoor golden hour shot and an indoor window shot. And I put the Bexley LUT on it. I made one image to look exactly how I wanted it. And for me, I wanted the colors to look more natural, but I still wanted to lift up the shadows or the blacks a little bit so you have that little faded look. And I also wanted to warm up the shadows and the midtones just a little bit, because specifically on a wedding day, you just want it to feel warm. You want it to feel inviting. And so that was the look that I was going for. And the Bexley LUT almost got me there, but it was a little too intense. So that's the way that I customized it. I brought it down a little bit, played with the colors, and I just, straight from DaVinci, I exported my own personal LUT, and now you're gonna see that LUT on all my wedding videos. So those are the questions people had. Just wanted to address those here, and now finally we will hop into the actual video. So thank you all so much. Leave questions and comments and everything down below that like button. Peace. What's up, everybody? Leo here of the Creative Library. Thanks so much for checking out another one of our videos. And this weekend I shot a wedding right here in town, and it was a lot of fun. It was great. Everything turned out really awesome. First time working with a photographer, and she was great, really easy to work with. And yeah, and I shot with a GH4 and a GH5. Had a GH3 as a backup. I used it a little bit, but primarily on the GH5. And I gotta say, I'm gonna talk about this more later on, but I gotta say, I am loving this GH5. It's amazing. So more on that later on. But yeah, so it's Monday. The wedding was on Saturday, and what I always do is right on Monday morning, I go through all the footage and put together a teaser for Facebook and for Instagram. And I sat down, started doing it, and I was like, wait a second, I think this would be a cool video. And I want to share with you guys how I do my teasers. Obviously, this isn't the only way to do a teaser. This is just the way that I do it. And the purpose for a teaser, if you don't know, is, I don't even have these in my contract. This is just a freebie that I give out to my couples. It's really cool for them. They get to, the wedding day is really, you're still on a high from it. And, they want to see some footage. They want to see what you did. And for us, as the vendors, the more stuff you put out there, the more stuff people are going to see. So if you aren't doing teasers, I highly recommend it. And as you're going to see, I put a lot of work into it, but at the same time, I keep it simple. Like, I got stuff to do. I want to start editing and have it uploaded and sent in a couple hours at most. I don't put a lot of time into these. So the first thing I do is I get the music for it. So let's hop over to the screen and I will show you how I do that. Okay, if you don't know, I get most of my music from soundstripe.com. These guys are awesome. Link below gives you 10% off, and yeah, it's legit. And for Instagram stuff, it is essential, because what ends up happening is if you get stuff, well, one, if you don't license your music, that's just bad. But two, if you do want to license your music and you don't have something like Soundstripe or Listro or other services where you pay like a subscription, things like the music bed, you have to license, even if for like 10 seconds, 30 seconds, whatever, you still have to license that music. So music bed, if you have the money, go ahead and do $50, but I don't have that kind of money. And this Soundstripe is an awesome deal. So they have a whole bunch of things that you can choose from here. For me, believe it or not, I stay away from the, Reception and Deep Love and Beauty. Like, I don't know, that's just not me. That's not my style. But for me, what I like doing is, specifically for teasers, I like to make it kind of epic. So I come here to the big epic beauty playlist, and I just start going through. So let's fast forward and let's look through this music. Okay, so one thing to note when picking music, at least for me personally, it's not just pick any song. For me, I really like to get to know the couple and pick music that goes with them. You know, if they're, I don't know, if they're like really outgoing, really like party animals kind of couple, you know, I'm not gonna pick this orchestra. You know, it doesn't really match them. Or if people are really fancy, I'm not going to go for like a rock kind of music style choice. So the couple from this weekend, man, everything just seemed really elegant, but at the same time not overly elegant. And so I actually found this song. This is My Path Leads to You by Caleb Etheridge. I think that's how you say it. But yeah, I mean, it was good. You know, it has like a little trill. It's really thumping kind of thing, and I think I can work with it. So we're gonna download this and hop on over to Premiere. Okay, so now that I have everything in here, I'm just gonna click and drag something in so that I can create a timeline. First thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna change my timeline to the output that I want, and I'm gonna output at 1080p. So I just did DNX 1080p, done. First thing I'm going to do, just to make things super simple, is click and drag in my music. Now this, honestly, I don't think you guys need to see all this, but you'll see this in fast motion. I just want to create a good, maybe like kind of like a swell of music, you know, something that'll get you really excited. And this teaser is only going to be 59 seconds long exactly, so I can still fit it on Instagram. But yeah, so I want that 1 minute to be, you know, really exciting. And the biggest thing that's going to make that happen is the music. So let's go ahead and start cutting this together. So what I'm doing right now is, so this song has a really cool, just piano part. You know, it's really deep, along with that trill. I think it really bounces out really well. But the thing is that the piano, it's still like soft. You know, it's kind of like in the background a little bit, and I wanted to pull that up a little bit. So what I did is in the original soundtrack, in the beginning part of the song, so the teaser is only going to be this half part and end really suddenly. But in the beginning, there is that exact same, those exact same notes being played. And so I'm just pulling from the beginning of the song and I'm putting it underneath the actual part that I'm using for the teaser. And what that's going to do is just going to emphasize those piano parts a little bit more. It's not really doing anything extra. All it's doing is just emphasizing. So that's what I'm going to do. And you'll notice that I lowered the volume here because I didn't want it to be too overpowering, and I also didn't want it to clip. So I just brought that down a little bit, and we'll see what we do later on with the actual track. But it happens again over here, so I'm just going to copy and paste over here. Okay, so I'm pretty sure I have it. I've laid down the track. Now all I'm gonna do is just start compiling all the clips, and I'm gonna start off with, again, it's gonna be slow motion groom prep, slow motion bride prep, slow motion little fun pictures, and then end on slow motion, and that'll be it. It'll cut to the title, be done. We'll send it over to grading first and then be done. So my camera's about to die, so I'll see you in a second. All right, so we're back. Didn't want to bore you guys with everything that I did. So what I'm going to do now is just walk you super quick through what I did for this quick teaser. And I'm going to mute the music because that would get annoying. So I'm just going to zoom in here. For this, all I did was do a little ramp, or not a ramp, whatever, opacity shift. That was fine. Cut to the bracelet. Want to keep it nice and simple, so wide shot of the bracelet and really close-up shot of the bracelet. Just kind of like teasing the couple a little bit. And cut directly into this guy. His name is Matt. Really cool dude. And I had to, the beauty of 4K. So I'm delivering in 1080p. The beauty of 4K, I don't care what people think, this is what it's helped me out with, is, man, I don't know what I was doing on that day, but my framing was off, and so I was able to come in and fix this, come in and reframe. It helps me out a lot, makes me look a lot better than I am. And yeah, and also the widescreen bars on top and bottom, it allows me to reframe the entire image. It looks cool, it looks cinematic. I hate using that word, but it looks cinematic. And it allows me to cut off these top edges here. The bars are kind of hiding it. And when I export, I actually export in that format. So it isn't actual bars just overlaid. This is just for me being able to frame my shot. Next, this is just a little sequence of him getting ready. Really cool. I was shooting on the Canon 85 1.2 with the speed booster. Man, that thing is amazing. I just love this image. It's amazing. So yeah, that's awesome. So once that's done, we cut to another slow motion sequence just of them, holding each other. And I wanted to show the Alumni Center in the background. It's kind of blurred out, but again, I guess kind of like a little tease, but we'll see it more in the actual film, the final film. And this little sequence, I wanted to keep it consistent, him behind her. And, this was actually, I think this was, we asked them to kiss a couple times, but it actually fit together nicely where he kissed her here and then let go here. I'm pretty sure that's 2 separate times. So, but it worked out great, and the beauty of editing, right? And again, I think this is on the 85. This is shot on the GH4, I believe. That was the angle. That was my wife shooting this angle. I was on this one. A little bit of the bride getting ready. Nothing fancy here. Oh, actually, I'll come to it here in a second. Bride getting ready. Thought it'd be good to show her smiling, laughing, great, having a good time. And this right here, just a couple extra shots, something that makes them unique. And what's more unique than pictures of them? So just did that. And you'll see here, I had to nest this sequence. And the reason being is I had to apply warp stabilizer to this shot, as you can see here. So smoothness at 10%, position scale, rotation, preserve scale. I don't want it like warping everywhere. That's super annoying to me and doesn't look really professional. So I keep that down. But the reason I had to nest it is because this shot was shot in 4K, and my timeline is in 1080p. So Premiere won't let you stabilize a 4K shot on a 1080p timeline, so you have to nest it. It tricks Premiere into thinking that now that clip is a 1080p shot, and then you apply warp stabilizer. That's how you go around that little, that's a workaround for the warp stabilizer. Little fun tip to share. Here, really cool shot. This was actually done. So as you can see, a nail focus. That was not manual focus, believe it or not. This was on the GH5. It has a zoom transition, focus transition, and I kid you not, I seriously thought I would never ever use that feature, because I was like, that's gonna take forever, blah blah blah. Thankfully, this shot was actually taken at the very end of the day. Everybody was on the dance floor. I walk out and I see this table of pictures, and I was like, man, this is really cool. And I was like, I want to test out this feature. So I went ahead, set up the shot. The first position was on this picture frame, and then I let it go. The second position was on their kid pictures, and I thought it was going to be like a really cool little sequence. So start off with their pictures as adults right now, still adults right now, but coming back to kids. And that was awesome. And I set all these pictures up so it fit exactly what I wanted to shoot. And of course, if you move anything on a wedding day, make sure to put it back, or else you'll get in trouble. So this is the final slow-mo shot. I had to reframe this one too. Yeah, it's just off. That's fine. It happens. And I actually had to cut this off right before the right edge of the screen because you can actually see a little shoulder right there. There were people back here, and I didn't. Whenever we do slow motion sequences, I want it to look like they're just enjoying their time by themselves. Obviously, they are enjoying their time by themselves, but we are there as the photographers, videographers, and we just want them to feel more natural. And so having people in the background and all that stuff, I always want to be watching out for that. I want it to look like they are by themselves. And yeah, so I just cut it off a little early, and this was a nice little sequence here. I'm gonna mute that. Nice little sequence of them walking through the pillars, and now you see a head-on shot. And that end, the reason it's so abrupt is because the music, it actually swells, and so I dropped the whole soundtrack down, but I increased at the very end just to make it a little bit more punchy. And I'm gonna bring this up actually, so you can see what I did. Let's see, wide. So the beginning of the soundtrack, I did a swell, kept going, and these were the little punchy notes. I wanted the piano to come out a little bit more. I did another one over here, faded that out, and I also added just a little bit more punch here. So and as you can see, I'm like fading in, fading out all of these, bringing this up, blah, blah, blah. So just wanted to bring that up. And then we cut to Jacqueline and Matt coming soon. And then get your email boxes ready, because people are going to be emailing about wanting to do another video, do another wedding. It's happened. Just from teasers. It's crazy. I'm telling you, Instagram. You gotta put your stuff on Instagram and Facebook and share it and all that stuff. You're gonna get work just from sharing these little teasers. This didn't take me too long. I mean, I'm not done quite yet, but I'm not quite done, but all I have to do is just grade this and send it away, and we're good to go. So yeah, fun little teaser. I like it. So that's that. I'm gonna export this in Cineform, YUV 10-bit, and head over to Resolve, grade it, and you'll see a fast motion thing of that. Once it's graded, now it's just exported and I'm done. So yeah, let's hop over. And that is it. That is my walkthrough of how I do teasers for our weddings. This wasn't really a tutorial. I don't know what this was, honestly, but I just wanted to share with you guys how I do teasers. Hopefully it was helpful, maybe you learned a couple things. I mean, there was a lot that was shown there, like editing in Premiere, grading in DaVinci, I don't even using Soundstripe. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff there, but feel free to ask any questions you may have. I will answer them in the comments below. And let me know if you'd like to learn one specific part of what I just showed you, because there was a lot there, as I said. Posted to Instagram, all that stuff. So, yeah, that's it. Honestly, if you're a wedding filmmaker, I strongly encourage you to post your teasers or parts of your films to Instagram. You will get some brides looking at that if you tag it right and you market yourself well. So I hope this was helpful. I hope this wasn't too long. We'll try to cut out a lot. So, but that's it. Thank y'all for checking out this video, and stay awesome. Peace.